Hello. Now we will see the symbols of MOSFET. MOSFET can be of two types. One is nothing but enhancement mode as well as depletion mode. Enhancement mode and depletion mode both are going to be can be either NMOS or PMOS. So here most of the times we are going to use enhancement mode MOSFETs. Depletion mode MOSFETs are only used for the active load purposes. And now we are discussing about the symbols pertaining to enhancement mode NMOS as well as PMOS. So first we are looking at NMOS enhancement mode MOSFET. These are the three different symbols can be used for the NMOS enhancement mode MOSFET. And MOSFET is going to be consisting of four terminals, but out of that four, three are going to be mostly used: gate, drain, and source. Those are the three things. And here, this is the arrow. The arrow points. That is nothing but arrow is going into source. That implies nothing but current is flowing from drain to source. In NMOS enhancement mode, always drain current flows from drain to source. To indicate that when this arrow it is going to be shown in this way. And this is a third symbol which is going to be used. This is nothing but normally with four terminals. The fourth terminal is nothing but substrate, which is also called as bulk or body. So arrow, if it is going inwards at that time, that is nothing but NMOS enhancement mode MOSFET. Here it is. Why the arrow is going to be inside? The arrow is going inside because current is flowing from drain to source, and generally source and substrate are going to be shorted. So that implies nothing but current is going from drain to substrate. So into substrate it is going. So that it is inside. And if you are going to check for the PMOS, it is exactly opposite. Normally PMOS is nothing but opposite of NMOS. So this bubble indicates nothing but it is PMOS. If you are comparing with the previous symbol NMOS, there is no bubble, and bubble implies nothing but inversion. And second symbol is nothing but arrow is on source. Here also arrow is on source terminal only, but it is coming inside. So from this diagram what we are going to say is nothing but current always flows from source to drain in case of PMOS, whereas in case of NMOS current always flows from drain to source. Now in case of PMOS current always flows from source to drain. Next, the last symbol is nothing but this is with four terminals where the arrow is going outwards in case of PMOS. Outwards implies nothing but it is going from source. That is source and substrate are going to be shorted, so current flows from source to drain, so that current is moving out of substrate so that it can go more to drain. You can think like that. So these are the symbols of MOSFET. Now we will see construction of N channel enhancement mode MOSFET. Construction of N-channel enhancement mode MOSFET. Always NMOS transistors are going to be fabricated in P-type substrate. Simply substrate implies nothing but it's going to be acting as a base where you can fabricate any number of transistors. Millions of transistors are going to be fabricated under one substrate. So P-type substrate is nothing but simply it's going to be looking like a base. That is, for example, if you are going with a blackboard where you are going to be writing the letters, that board is going to be acting as a base for those letters. You can't write the letters in the air. If you are writing the letters in the air, it is not visible to the students. If you are writing those letters on the blackboard, blackboard is going to be acting as base, and you are writing on white chalk and it is going to be visible like that. That letters are going to be treated as transistors, that blackboard is going to be treated as base. So like that, NMOS transistors is always fabricated under P-type substrate. Next, and into that one, two N plus regions are going to be diffused. One is going to be acting as drain, the other is going to be acting as source. Actually, the fabrication is going to be different from this construction. We are only discussing about the construction part. How you are diffusing? This diffusion is going to become latter part after getting the gate terminal. But we are not discussing the fabrication part. Only we are going for the construction. Okay, it's going to be how it is looking like. That's all. So there are two N plus regions. N plus implies nothing but heavily doped N type. Single N implies nothing but N type, and N plus is nothing but compared to N type, N plus is nothing but heavily doped, like that. So two N plus regions are diffused. One is source, the other is acting as drain. And over that one, a thin oxide is going to be placed, which is going to be acting as a dielectric material between the polysilicon gate and substrate. and above that thin oxide there is a polysilicon is going to be placed, which is going to be acting as gate terminal. So this is acting as source, this is acting as drain, and it is going to be acting as gate terminal. Polysilicon is nothing but gate material. There is a two types of silicon dioxide layers are used. One is nothing but thin oxide, which is going to be below the polysilicon, and the other is nothing but thick oxide. Thick oxide is nothing but this one. So what is the importance of thin oxide and thick oxide? As the name implies, thin oxide is nothing but whose uh, thickness is very small compared to thick oxide. So it is around 1/10 of thick oxide. So thin oxide is going to be acting as gate oxide, that is nothing but which is going to be main root cause to enhance the channel, whereas thick oxide function is nothing but it is going to isolate nearby transistors, and it is going to be isolating the metal layers from the other conducting layers like that. Okay. Next, after getting the source, drain and polysilicon gate, you can get the terminals in this way. Ohmic contacts can be drawn, source, gate and drain with ohmic contacts. Now we will see what is the importance of gate. Why the name has come as MOS, metal oxide semiconductor. So this is what normally we are thinking it as. This is polysilicon and this is SiO2 layer and this is P sub. P sub implies nothing but semiconductor. First of all, gate material in olden days used was aluminum. Aluminum is nothing but metal. So gate is made up of aluminum, which is nothing but metal. Below that one you are getting SiO2 layer, which is nothing but insulator oxide layer. Okay, and below that oxide what you are getting is nothing but channel. Channel is going to be consisting of either N type or P type. Both are going to be considered as semiconductors. So metal oxide semiconductor, this is what metal aluminum and it is silicon dioxide layer oxide, and below that one you are getting the channel. If it is channel or P type, whatever you are getting, it is nothing but semiconductor. So MOS, metal oxide semiconductor, this portion is going to be treated as MOS. This is the portion MOS, metal oxide semiconductor. That's why the name has come. Next, why aluminum is going to be not used? In olden days, only SSI technology is going to be available. That is nothing but small scale integration, where you are going to get only 10 to hundreds of transistors on a chip. By that time, the processing fabrication technology is also very large, and the temperature is going to be small. And aluminum is going to be having a disadvantage: low melting point it has. Low melting point is nothing but it cannot withstand higher temperatures. But as the process technology advances, more and more transistors are going to be placing on a same area, same die. So that implies nothing but they are going to be placing at higher temperatures. All those processing steps are going to be operating at higher temperatures. Those higher temperatures cannot be withstand by this gate, that is aluminum. So aluminum is going to be replaced with polysilicon. Polysilicon is nothing but simply it is polycrystalline silicon. There is a small difference, single crystal silicon and polycrystal silicon. And this is polysilicon. Polysilicon has also one disadvantage, that is higher sheet resistance. Higher sheet resistance when it is heavily doped. When it is heavily doped, it has the disadvantage of it is giving the higher sheet resistance. Whenever the resistance is going to be large, at that time constant is large, that implies nothing but speed of the circuit is going to be reduced. That is performance of the circuit is going to be slows down. So that now polysilicon is going to be replaced with silicide. Silicide is nothing but now it is used. Silicide implies nothing but simply silicide is nothing but polysilicon is coated with a low refractory material. Low refractory material which will be having a low resistance. So it is the materials used for low refractory materials are tungsten, platinum, titanium, like that. So whenever it is coated on that polysilicon, the effective resistance is nothing but parallel combination of refractive material along with polysilicon resistance. So effective resistance is going to be reduced lesser than the least. That is nothing but the overall resistance. Effective resistance is less than the low refractory material.